Hi there. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Dream Gouger. You probably have heard a lot about it. It's been out on the market now for just over a year, I think, and it's been a wild ride learning to use it. I think I was probably one of the first people to buy it last year. It's called the Dream Gouger. It's got to be like a dream, right? Couldn't possibly be a nightmare. Just kidding, but come along and I'll tell you a little bit more about my experience using it for an entire year. I wanted to do a review of it sooner, but I just wasn't ready yet. I had to make more reads to be sure that my problems were gouger related or not. You need a big enough sample size. It's not really enough to make like 5 reads on a new blade to really figure out what that blade is doing for you. Gougers can affect a ton in the final sound of the oboe. So it's really important to carefully choose a gouger that's going to give you the results that you're looking for. I think a lot of the sort of mainstream gougers out there have their own sort of stereotypes, like that maybe the RDG gouger is maybe a little bit on the brighter side, and the Inalady, which it's not a mainstream style gouger with a carriage and whatever, but that's also known for being very light and bright and sort of very easy to use and go. And the Ross is supposed to be a little bit on the darker side, and the Koonie Bear is somewhere in the middle between the RDG and the Ross, and the Furillo is supposed to be way on the darker side, and it's supposed to be super stable and very covered. Maybe those are all myths. I don't know. I have not tried every single one of these gougers, so I really couldn't be the one to tell you definitively what every gouger really can do for you. My experience using gouging machines is I have had an Inalady. It was my first gouging machine, and I bought it during my undergrad. At the end of my master's, I got my Koonie Bear machine, which I really have loved and made many great reads off of the Koonie Bear. But I was looking at potentially trying to get even a more covered and more dark sound. And so I was willing to experiment with other options. I didn't know whether maybe I would get a Ross machine or maybe I would get a Furillo. So when this was announced and it was supposedly had the stability of a Furillo machine with the covered tone of something else. Anyway, it had a whole slogan around it. I was okay, well, it seems a little too good to be true. The blades are really cheap and really easy to replace, so that's very attractive, and it's supposed to be super fast. You can just do the cane in one pass and just get it through there. In reality, not exactly my experience, but I'll tell you more about that. So first I'll just open the case and you can see what it looks like. It's a little bit more complicated to use, I think, than the advertising materials. I think that's maybe a common thing for anything. So initially when I got it, it came just with one blade, the B blade, and I had a lot of issues with my first machine, and I actually got them to send me another one. I sent the other one back. This version came with 3 blades. I know they just released the Dream Gouger Pro, which I can't say what that comes with. And this is, by the way, completely a not sponsored review. I paid for this gouger out of my own pocket, and it was not cheap. So it comes with this little microplaner, which you can just use if you feel like it, I guess. I've not really made any use of it, but in theory, you just kind of go like this, and it kind of takes the little sides off of the cane and kind of makes it a little bit flatter, better for gouging. You do have to be careful when you select cane for this machine that it can't be bowed at all like this, because it's really easy for cane to get stuck in this machine. And then it's really a hassle to get cane out of it. But I'll show you all that. So I'll set up the machine. What I'll tell you, so it comes with 3 blades, or there are 3 blades that are made for it. One of them is the standard, the B blade, and I'll tell you, I made a lot of reeds on the B blade and I did not have good luck. Like, I just made reed after reed after reed, and I basically didn't make any good reeds that I really loved the tone on the B blade. And I haven't actually at all used the A blade. So the A blade has thicker sides, is my understanding, than the B blade, because of course it's like a curvature, right? So you can adjust the curvature of the blade and that'll affect how thick the sides are. And the blade that I ended up having really good success with is the C blade, which has thinner sides, which apparently is more similar to my setup on the Kuni Bear, which is obviously something I'm more familiar with. So this is it. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blades that it's supposed to go through all at the same time. What I have learned through a lot of trial and error is that it's actually like not worth having the final blade on at the same time as everything else, because it's just more likely for the cane to get stuck in the machine. So, and this is actually totally why they made the new design of Dream Gouger Pro, which has like 1 track that's for all of the pre-gouging blades, bringing it down to 0.7 of a millimeter, and then you do 1 final pass through the final blade. I totally understand why they made that redesign, because having the final blade on just makes it way more likely for the cane to get stuck, and I just don't have the patience for that, and I wrecked so many pieces of cane on this. You know, you got to give them credit. Like, these are really easy to take apart and put together. Like, it's, you know, he describes it as like Lego pieces, and you know, it's not that far off. So I've taken the final blade off and I'll put that back on in a short little while. All right, so I've clamped that onto my desk and attached the handle. I wonder if they've made the handle part of this more robust in the Dream Gouger Pro, because I do find that this does feel a little bit flimsy. And you're gonna see, like, putting cane through this is like not the easiest thing. It's like not a walk in the park. It's not a dream. Like, it is a hard day's work. Sometimes I feel like I have to like brace myself on the desk. And there we go. So then this piece of cane, since it didn't go through the final blade, it'll be about 0.7 of a millimeter. Yeah, and it's just around that. 0.71. So pretty good. And then I'll adjust with the final blade to really make sure I get the thickness that I want. But it is fast, right? Like, there's no other machine, unless you're using the Inalady in a way that it's not prescribed. Like, if you're using the off-label use of the Inalady, yes, you can do this. But this is probably the only machine that really brings it down this fast. I have 15 pieces that I'm gouging today. Oop, my first one got stuck. But I saw, as I was putting it through, I was like, this is not a piece of cane that I should be gouging. So I'm kind of like just trying to hold on to it because I think it is a little bit bowed. I'm putting it through sort of on the slow side. Excuse me. All right, so then this piece is stuck. But I kind of saw it coming, like as it was happening, I was like, don't do this, Ari. Your piece is gonna get stuck. So now this is the not fun part where I have to throw it away, but also it is annoying and a hassle to get this piece of cane out. So I think what you can do in theory is put another piece through, but I don't think I've had like much luck with that. Like, I don't think that this piece is gonna push the other piece through really successfully. Oh, okay, well it did. But then it kind of leaves these grooves. So I actually don't think this piece is usable now. You can kind of see that. Anyway, trash. Okay, another one that didn't quite go right. And that's the experience sometimes. Is like the pieces just have to be like very straight or else this is going to happen. Ooh. This I would say is not a ringing endorsement. I just broke my cane. That was very sad. Okay, so I'm gonna get out this piece. Oh, thankfully that worked. Sometimes you have to like really like take apart, like pull open all these screws so that you can get the piece out, which is a bit of a nightmare. See, I'm seeing this and I see a slight curve on the piece and I'm like, will it gouge? Will it gouge? It's sort of like one of those, I feel like one of those YouTube videos where it was like called Will It Blend? And it was like people would put random things in the like Ninja blender to see if it would blend. This is the Will It Gouge and it really does not want to. I'm sweating. Like, I'm actually sweating. Okay. And now I'm just gonna try to push it out with another piece because that's apparently what we do here on this channel. Yeah, I just don't think that's gonna be usable since it like really messed up the cane. But like, let me keep this. Or actually, what I can do is I'll measure the pieces that look a little gouged in. Yeah, and they're like below 60, so it is useless. But hey, we got some usable pieces. I can't overstate that like I actually got lots of really amazing reeds out of this on this C blade. And actually the reeds that I recorded my album on, which is coming out I think in November, are off of this machine. So, you know, every machine has its pros and cons. And I'm currently in the delusional state of thinking that this is still serving me, so whether it's true or not. Today's not the day. Today's not the day. Okay, so then it just has wrecked so many pieces of cane for me and I'm sick of it. So yeah, like this piece, I think I'm just gonna have to like undo all the screws to get it out. And I want to say like I was pretty careful with this cane selection. Like it's kind of ridiculous that on this particular batch, basically half the pieces were wrecked. And like how like time consuming and annoying when a piece of cane is shredded that you then have to like take the whole thing apart. Sad. Okay, well let's put the final blade on. All right, so let's put these last few pieces through the final blade. So this last bit should be easy and we'll adjust if necessary. See, that part was easy. Not so bad. Good. So it is a little bit, I'm gouging in a little bit thinner than 60 because I need it to be like around, well, I prefer it to be around 58, 59 when it's soaked. And because I'm gouging dry, it usually goes up about 2. Yeah, so these are looking good. And like, it's such an even gouge, and like, it's very consistent once I actually deal with all the problematic parts of it. I've been very reticent to just like use the Inalady as a pre-gouger for this. I feel like that's a little bit ridiculous, that I should have to spend, you know, the time and, you know, well, realistically, like I shouldn't feel like I need 2 machines when I'm spending this much for this one. That gives you a sense of what it's like to gouge with the machine. It is not a walk in the park, and it is an experience. Do you have experience with Dream Gouger? Is yours better than mine? Let me know. I don't really feel like playing for you like reeds that are finished on it really would make that much sense today. Stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed so that you can hear the reeds that I've made on this gouger on the upcoming album. If you like this video, got something out of it, please give it a thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribed here to this channel. And you can also find me on Instagram at oboists. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.